Okay, we're ready for this video. Now, I hope I don't lose my eye. I hope I don't lose my eye. I see perfect with one eye. I have no problem. So this is what we're going to talk about in this video. It's how Y can be standing. Remember, the ground will make a bottom line. Does it say it's closed? Are we backed up to the wall? But the Y, when it stands up to the sky is not on the top of the Y. It's not. When you see it on a flag, it's because you have the flag pole holding up the flag, showing this line. Here is the R. Now we're going to bring it down a little and show you the rest of this equation. Okay? This is rover. Rover, 18 and 15, 33, 9 and 6. Here is your V, angle of V. Now you do know that I can just draw a line. I'm going to show you this after. But now what do we do in the center? Do we draw an R upward? And then we draw it towards the center. Then we draw the R downward and we draw it towards the center. And the same thing if we were working in all these fashions. And then this is what we would end up. Do you see the spaceship, star system, the eyes, maybe the nose? Now, the center of this is the eye system where we go all the way up to this area. Is this where we stand with I? Now, the question is, will I draw a line out here? Will I, won't I, what will it design? If I put a dot over here, you might see one of the Simpson characters, because all our characters come from the creation of squareness with the alphabet and the roundness. I was taught during my sleep to design like this. Okay, now this is one side, and boom, because you have area, stop. Every 3 is an area, stop. If I go 4, that means I'm redesigning the first area. So this is area. Now this is 2 areas over here. Can I join the 2 areas together because it's a flat line? Or will I just join the single letter over here, and then this single letter for this R would come to this, and the single letter for this R would come to this, and then I would be overlapping here. And if you notice, there's an A. So the A goes into the R right now. This is the basic design of this. Also, the upside down is over here. And if you notice, this is the air intake. Okay, this can be the underneath of a nose, or this design over here, where is the air intake. If you notice, it comes from 2 sides to create this. And if you also notice, at the same time, it creates 7. 7. We know how 7 works. Is that correct? 7 this way. And then we have 7 this way. And then we put the line in between. We end up with 7AF, which becomes G, A, F, 7, 1, and 6 come together. The 61 is the light, the 91 reverses the spirit, where the 7 now becomes the L letter. The L letter is 2 and 1 because the cheval, the horse, in chess creates a 2-1 rotation. So this is how we design this, and it can more or less look like this design, where Y and Y will now create the 25Y and the 27Y. 7 and 9 equals 63 creation, and 16 creation of the light, where 1 and 6 is actually as 3 and 6, because 1 and 2 must go together, and 7 and 4 and 1 is what creates the spirit. 3 and 1 is 4, 3 and 7 is 10, 1 and 0 is 1, 3 and 4 is 7. 13 becomes 4. 34 becomes DC. This becomes AC-DC. AC-DC-G. A-D-C-G. I just like to call it the cage or the judge. We do know how the judgment works with stripes. We have stripes this way, but when you're behind bars and you're wearing the striped suit. But when you're under judgment, you have the one stripe of the skunk dividing A and C, because B becomes judgment, and B is inside Venus, and we need 3 and 1 and 1 and 3 to create it, which is the E13 system, which is 513, creating the word ace. And on the keyboard, the 3rd letter, the 1st letter, and the 5th letter create the cat. In the 9 lives of the cat, 3 times 3 create 9 plus 1 equals to your 10. See the brackets, the crisscross brackets? So this is what we get from the star system, R and O. This is the egg. This is the egg. 1 times 8, 1 plus 8 equals to 9 and 8, or H and I, the high sky inside the R. 1 times 5, 1 plus 5 equals to 1 plus 5 is 6. 1 times 5 is 5. This will equal 17, will equal to 8. This will equal to 11, will equal to 2. And 28 is 7 times 4, which is the cycle of the moon. 21 and 7, which is G and U. It's just like Q and U. And what happens with this is it's the cycle inside of what I call the 7th inning stretch. The other thing I wanted to make on this was what you see below. We're not going to go here. So this is what R does. And not only does R do this, but at the same time, R becomes the Betamax from one reel to the next reel. What is real, what is not real. And then we have underneath what is the beak of the bird. The beak of the bird. And then the beak of the bird, and then the man in between. Cheep, cheep, inside the thyroid gland, where the bird starts to chirp. He's getting the food, he's getting the water inside that thyroid gland, the passage. Now, I'm just making some of this up, taken within the vision. We have the V that comes together, 2 sides for life. We have the underneath connecting the exteriors. We have the connected lips. Over here now, is it my lip or my beak that makes the V? Is it the bird and the man between the lips and the beak that create the V? What is the difference between V and U? That with the U in French, you go double, which means double, U, right? But we don't say W in French. We say double V in French. In English, we say double U. So the French double the V, getting 44. The English doubling the U, getting 42. Man gets the cat. Doubling U gets space. 4 times 4, 4 plus 4, whatever the result of flight of the phoenix means, whatever that phoenix means, or phonics. For phonics communication, that's what your 4 and 4, which also creates the day of light in the day of man. 4 times 4 is 16. 1 and 6 creates the spirit of the light inside of man. And because 1 is inside of 6, 1 equals 34, 7. 3 times 4 is your DC. Neo, Anderson, Enzo, your DC, your altered current. Current of the waters, the rapids, the movement, the change of the water system. Where you think the Great Lakes is just a system of Great Lakes, it is the heart, and it is pulsating purposely. For how they do it or what it's worked for us, for them, for whichever side, I do not know. But whatever it is, things have been altered. As you step up onto the altar, you are married for 25 years to life, which is 1/4. 25 represents 1/4. It also represents 15, which is Mars, because inside the clock, 15 seconds is 1/4 of the hour, which is 4 times 375, which is known to be under the gun, because 375 is what creates the letter U, as in 3, N as in 14 equals to 5, and 7, which is G. And when you multiply it or create it into 285, 285 divided by 3.75 equals to 76. 3.75 divided by 25 equals to 15. All these numbers, 15 times 5 equals the gates of energy, or the egg, the EGG, which must be the pulsate of the heart, or the movement. And you can play a song with the movement of the heart. Watch the heartbeat, and you can actually put the letters to the height of how high and how low and how fast your heart is beating according to the high and low blood pressure. This again, why and why, how it creates. Here is your diamond leaving everything on the cross, and I'm going to be working on the cross. I think I have it down over here, the dimensions of the cross and the reason for this type of coffin. Going out onto the arms and back to the legs, starting by the short neck. There is a value to this inside creation. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. Before I let this go, this is Lo Shu, and these are the numbers. There's 2 ways to mark these numbers. One of the ways the numbers repeat. What is it? Inside number 5, the numbers are 14. The numbers are 23 and 2332. It repeats. Inside of 4, the number is 13, the number is 22, the number is 31, 13, 31 repeats. What is in between 22? What is in between 23? What is in between 15 or 6, 15? And after 15 becomes 25. After 25 is 34, 43. And did I say that right? 15, 24, 33, 42, 51. And then we repeat. So what would be in between? It would be 24, 33, 42, which would be in between over here. Over here, the in between is 24 and 33. After that, it is 40. Excuse me, I'm wrong. It is 14 and then 23, and then automatically it goes to 32. So it's only the 14 that is below, but there's an in between. Do you follow me? 23, 32 automatically have no numbers in between before it repeats. Inside of here, 22. And before that is 13, and after that is 31. So 22 is in between over here, and in between over here is 24 and 33 and 42 for 666. Here it's 22, which is the V letter for life. So there's a whole motion of that, even when you're looking at the piano where BC have no black key and EF have no black key. 5 and 6 goes together. Here it says the kiss. And what do we split with? We're split only with the D. 4 splits, 5 and 11. 4 and 5 is 9. 4 and 11 is 15, which is 6. 9 and 6 come together. And it continues on to the next side of where E and F is now 11, right? And 11 goes with G and A, which is 8. And then it is B again. So G and A is 8. So you would have 11, which is 2. Then you would have 8, the cycle. And then you would have 5. So you'd have 2, 8, 5, which is exactly what's over here. 2, 8, 5, the center of the cross, or being on the cross. We're going to do it again. 5 and 6 is 11. 1 and 1 is 2. 7 and 1 is 8. And then we go back to B again. So that's where it stops. This one becomes 5. This becomes 5. This one is 2. 5 and 2 is earth of man. Inside of 4, 5, 4, 2. And this is 8, the cycle, the gateway. So we see between A and G is the center black key over here. I don't know what it does. These two come together. And then we have the question of the instruments and how it works. So that we're going to take in another video when I can put my mind together and find out the musical geniuses, or the elements, the weights and measure boards, and Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. I can't end this video because I don't see. So we'll pop out my eyes, and thank you.